Okay, ladies, this is Heather. I decided to do this video for you guys since we didn't get to finish the class on Saturday. I know some of you might be coming up this Saturday to finish, but if you're not, I thought maybe this would help. So I've gone ahead and made another book. I've got one more page to do just so you guys can see kind of how I lay out my decorative paper. I'm a little OCD about stuff, so I like to line everything up perfectly. So what I do is I start with the front of the page, the large pocket, and I actually take the pocket decorative pages out, open up the base page, and I start with the strip. Just a little bit of adhesive. Centered top to bottom, and a little bit of a black edge to the side there. And then I go to the top flap, which if you have a decorative border, the top flap's going to be the bigger piece. If you don't, they're going to be opposite. So the top flap would have the smaller piece. And then this time you're going to center it side to side and line it up with the edge here. Like I said, I like all my stuff lined up, so that's how I get everything so I'm not flipping back and forth trying to line it up. Alright, and then for the bottom flap, you're going to do the same thing, except this time you're going to line it up with the side and the bottom here. Alright, so we've got our large pockets done. And now you're going to take the page and flip it over and open it up. Alright, so on the inside, I actually start with the largest piece. Because these ones are so big, I do like to use a little extra adhesive. And then you're going to do the same thing, line it up top to bottom, and try to center it all the way around. Right, and then when you get to the pocket, you're going to take off the decorative paper again, open it up just like we did with the large pocket. And then this time, you're going to line it up with the large decorative piece as best you can. And then continue on. This paper pack that I used, I actually ran out of paper to use, so I had to take some scraps and kind of cut them up to make my own decorative pieces. So I'm going to start with the top here and line it up with this piece and center it side to side. This one, a bit of adhesive. And we just want to leave a little bit of a gap. And line it up down the sides. So see, now when our pocket closes, we'll just see that little bit of decorative paper through. Alright, and then we go on to the bottom of that pocket, lining up against all the others. And then finally we're going to close it again We've got one more big piece to do. All right, and this one, we're actually going to line up against the other larger piece. And a little bit in between. And there we go. So that is putting all of the decorative paper on your pockets. Now we're going to close the pockets. So what you want to do is, I use score tape just because it's easiest. I don't like working with liquid glue. I discovered after I did the first book I ever did, because they used liquid glue, the lady I learned from, and I realized I don't like it. So I learned how to do it with score tape. If you like glue, you go right ahead and use it. If not, stick with the tape. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your page, you're going to turn it towards you so that the bottom flap is opening to your right. Excuse me. You're going to open up the flap, and what we want to do is we want to seal the two sides here, but only so much as it goes up here. So it's pretty much half an inch-ish. And you want it right along the edge. And then one on this side. Okay. That's my dog whining. He's been doing it all day. All right. So you're going to take the backing off. Of both. And close up your pocket. Okay. So this is going to give us this top pocket, which of course now I can't get into it. So we're going to have the pocket here, and it's also going to make this pocket over here. This end does stay open. This is where it's going to sit onto the binding that we made. Okay, so the same thing, pretty much. On the little pocket, you're going to open up the flap. This time, however, we actually need to close this edge. So we're going to do a little bit on this edge. And then you're going to open it all the way. You're going to go straight down this edge and this edge. All right. Burnish all that. All right. So we're going to close up the top flap first. And then the bottom flap. Up. All right. So that makes this pocket and this pocket with it sealed at the end so that your tag doesn't fall out. Alrighty, so there's our pages. Go ahead and do that with all 8, and then I will show you how to put them into the book. Alrighty, now that we've got all of our pages closed and decorated, we're going to go ahead and put them in the book. I usually go front to back. You can go back to front. You can, I don't know, go every other one, whichever you prefer. It's pretty easy. Basically what you're going to do is, starting with your first binder right here, you're going to take both backings off of the score tape. And then your page facing the right direction, because I put them upside down before. Right here is your binding edge, and that's going to slip over top of the binder. So you just want to open it up slightly and slip it over. Now you don't want to butt it right up against the spine. You do want a little bit of room just so the page turns nicely. And once you get it down there, you're just gonna smooth out the lines and then burnish the tape. And then you're gonna do that for all 8 pages. Turn it, see if everyone can get a little better view. Difficult to do this way. And just slide it on. And burnish. Alrighty. Turn it to you guys. Alright. So there's all your pages. They should flip easily enough. All 8 pages. Okay, next we're going to work on the tags. I actually had to change my measurements a little bit because I used wider score tape when I was closing my pockets. So all of my measurements, not all, sorry, the 2 top loading pockets, the measurements are actually 1/4 of an inch less wide because I had wider tape. But they're all still 4 1/4 long to begin with. So you're going to take an 8 1/2 by 11 and slice it right down the middle at 4 1/4. And then I usually double mine up just so I can go faster. And for the first pocket, it's actually going to be 2 3/4 4 times. So that should give you 8 pieces out of one 8 1/2 by 11. Alright. And the next pocket is going to be, so we just did this one, that fits in there. The next one we're going to do is this pocket here. And those measurements you're going to cut lengthwise at 3 3/4 and 3 3/4. And then 4 3/4. And 4 3/4. All right. So that gives you 4. So you're going to do that again. one we're going to cut is the inside top loading pocket. Now you're going to do the same as what we did the first one. So you're going to cut straight down the middle at 4 1/4. Turn them and cut at 2 3/8. Oops. And then 2 3/8 again. And again. And one last time. So you're going to go to 2, and then these are 16ths. The ones that go this side and this side of the little stop bar are the 8ths. So you're going to go 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so that'll be 8 of those out of 1, 8 1/2 by 11. Alright, one last pocket we're going to do is again on the inside. It's going to be this pocket right here. So those tags are going to be 3 1/2. So you're going to cut at 3 1/2 and 3 1/2. And then turn and cut at 4 3/4 and 4 3/4. Alright, second set, cut at 4 3/4 and 4 3/4. Alright. You should have 4 different size pockets. Done with that. Now the pockets that go into the top loading, the tags that go into the top loading pockets, this one here, I actually like to do a decorative tag topper punch. It is up to you guys. You don't have to. You can make pulls instead. And these are the 2 I'm talking about. They're from Stampin' Up. It's the scallop, and I think ornate, I think is what that one's called. I think for this one I'm going to use that one. Alright. So with these tags, the well is actually only 2 inches. So if they're wider than 2 inches, which both of these are, you just kind of work them in to the punch, kind of eyeball if you're even, and punch. And that'll give you the tag topper. And then you're just going to take your scissors, an X-Acto, or you can use your paper trimmer, and snip off. I really hope I'm in frame. The little arms to make your tag. And you're going to do that with all 16 of these tags. So those are for the first pocket. I'm going to do the same thing for the inside pocket. So now we have those tags done. All right. Now for the largest tags that we have that go in this pocket here, that are going to come out towards the opening of the book, I usually make little pull tags for. It's completely up to you. You can, you don't have to. It just makes it a little easier to pull that one out of the pocket. Most of the time, I put the decorative paper on first and then make my tag. And my tags are usually very simple, usually a scallop circle of the base color, which in this case is black. And then if I have any decorative paper left over, which I do have tiny little scraps here, 2, 3, 4 designs. I should be able to get 2 circles out of each of those. You would do so you attach the decorative paper to the black, like so, and you end up just a hint of a little black border. And then after we put the decorative paper on the tag, it would go here, so you can use as a little pull. Also with these tags, I like rounding the corners, or at least the 2 corners that go into the pocket. It just makes it a little easier to slide the tags in and out. You don't have to, it's completely your thing. So on these tags, it would just be these 2 bottom ones. And then these tags, I usually do all 4 sides. So I am going to go cut all my decorative paper for my tags, and I will be back. Okay, just to show what I mean by these little tag pulls, here's the largest tag that's going to come out towards the opening of the book. And all I did was take, actually this paper on the back was a lighter shimmer paper. So I just cut out 1-inch circles, 8 of them, and the black little scallop circle. So there's a little bit of a black edge. And all you're going to do is put a little bit of adhesive on the side. Oops. And then kind of eyeball the center and how far out you want the tag. And stick it down. Now on the back of my tags, I haven't put a photo mat, basically because I ran out of paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave them black. But I do want another 1-inch circle on this side. So what I did was cut out circles of the decorative paper on this side, and I'm just going to put those on the back here. That way there's a little something on the back. All right, there's one, and I'll just keep going with the rest. Oops. If you want them all lined up, which I do, you're actually going to kind of line up the tag first. And then just line up the pull. That way when they're all in the book, they're all lined up together. And then you're going to take this decorative paper. There we go. Line up the next one. Sorry, I'm right-handed. I have to turn it around. Line it up and squish it down. I'm actually going to do the front of all the tags real quick. So now we can put the backs on. All right. So now we have all of our tag pulls on that tag, and all of the others are done as well. Now where these tags match, there's two of each design. What I like to do is actually put them in order. So it goes, you know, pink, whatever that is, roses, and then the stripes, and then repeats itself. So you're going to do that with each pile of tags, and then so that they each don't match the tag that they're next to, what I do is I leave this pile alone. This pile, I take the top one and put it on the bottom, and then the next pile, I take the top two and put them on the bottom, and then the final pile, you're going to take the top three. So then as you grab, they're all going to be different. So I'm going to open up and just start putting in. So this size goes in the first little pocket, and then you're going to take your pull tag, turn, open, littlest one in there. Oops. And then the last one. And that one you actually got to kind of shove as far in as you can, just because of the fold there. You don't want it getting stuck. And then just keep going. Now because we use different decorative paper on the tags than we did the pages, you don't have to worry about trying to make sure they don't match the pages. So that is all your tags. And because we stacked them on top of each other, they all line up. That way one's not all wonky. Alrighty. And now, the best part, I think anyway, is the embellishing. So as you can see, I've already started this one with my little, I don't know, very pink, very girly book, which is not really me, but apparently I went very pink and very girly. Valentine's Day is coming up, so I thought I'd make this little love book. So this is the front cover, and then there's my spine, and then there's the back. I may do something on the back, I can't remember. I don't know. I've got some cut aparts and stuff I may add on there. And then here's the inside. Now you can, if you have extra bits of paper, which I have here, the backs of the ones we used for the tags, you can always make more tags. This is a little Halloween book I did, and you can do, like I did a pocket here at the front and did a little bit of stamping. Excuse me. And then these little embellishments that I left open on the corners, so if you had a picture you could still get the corner of it in there, and just put a little picture there. And then these ones are all, anything in the corner is usually left open. Oops. Or you just rip it off. And stuff like that. So, and then you can also do pockets in the back, on the back. I did a little bit of stamping and embossing, and some gems on the back. So I think embellishing is probably the best part of making the books. I tend to go a little overboard, as you can see. I went crazy. I had just discovered Lisa's Tag Topper Punch, so I went a little tag crazy on this one, but